Hi, this is Eric Stoller for the Eric Stoller Show and the Patient Zero series. But now we are the Man on a Mission series. And I'm here with my good friend, brother from another mother, the founder of New Life Expo, the longest running holistic expo in the United States, Mr. Mark Becker. Good to see you. You literally just got in on an airplane. Boy, your arms must be tired.
I flew in to help this man on a mission.
Thank you. I need all the help I can get. So Mark came in. He's looking for locations for next year, right? Maybe
Probably
this
for
year?
January.
January. Well, beginning of the year. Maybe we'll do a West Palm. Maybe we'll do Miami.
Right.
Another New York.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about what's going on with you.
What's going on with me? So I was actually going to start a podcast, but I'd like to be part of yours. So mine, I was calling the original biohacker because I had started the first yoga center in New York City ever. In fact, I was the first yoga teacher in the first health club in New York City.
When was that?
December 73.
1973. You know how old I was in 1973? 7.
Well, I don't know. I had to talk them into this thing called yoga. And us yogis, we were the first biohackers, the first one.
Right.
We were the first ones to talk about proper breathing, proper exercise, proper nutrition, proper relaxation, meditation. These were the original biohacking techniques.
Amazing.
And now, of course, everybody's jumping on.
So let me ask you a question. You come into New York, 1973. What's people's understanding of what yoga is?
There was no understanding. And what happened with me is that I was doing acid testing, LSD testing in Berkeley.
Okay.
In those days, it was called Berserkly.
Berserk.
And I was using up to 9% of my brain. Most people use 2 to 3%. And I had a lot of questions in my mind that I couldn't believe people didn't understand it. They didn't get it. They just did not get it. And those days, the Woodstock days, which that was the Woodstock Festival. In those days, people didn't get a lot of things that people were talking about. Myself, with the acid, I mean, everybody that did yoga handled situations better than me. They just did. So I know this is a thing to do. And then, of course, I went to jail.
Oh, that's how you got involved in yoga, because you realized how they held themselves.
How they held. But then more than that. So then I went to jail for LSD.
Okay.
I was in jail for a year and a half of my 24, all my 25.
Wow. What was that like?
Well, I'll tell you, I never want to go back to jail. But all the yoga I learned before kept me together in jail. And me, before that, all I used to do was get high, have sex, and travel. That was it.
Which is really not a bad deal either.
I was part of the generation.
Right.
I was friends with the Dead, and friends with Santana, and friends with Crosby. I mean, everybody.
Right.
And amazing. Timothy Leary. In fact, Timothy Leary was in all my expos till he died. But I knew if yoga kept me together in jail, it can keep anybody together anywhere. So when I came out, I said, no more. I am not making acid. I am not selling acid, even though I think it's an awesome drug for the mind. But I said I'm going to open up a yoga center. Wow. First I had to break it in. So I went to the health club. Nobody knew anything about yoga. All you knew was the Bazooka comic strip in those days of the Rubber Man, of the Yogi Man.
That's what okay.
Yeah. And so I opened the yoga center. And what happened was I had 2 stoops. It was an old Jewish temple.
Okay.
On East 72nd. People used to come up in the stoop. And I said, call them in. I would talk to them and do yoga. And they would do it next to me. And I had a liver flush drink that I used to make. And I say, take it. So I give them the drinks for free, do yoga next to me. And by the end of the year, I had 40 people in every class I taught.
Wow, amazing.
Yeah.
But it all started, you gave them the drinks, you got them engaged. And then
because once you do it, in the health club, people liked it. They didn't even know why they liked it, but they came back. And they came back because they hit a spiritual flavor that they never had before. Amazing. And that was the secret of yoga, the spiritual part of it. And right now it's very, very, very just physical. And there's so much more to that.
Yeah, and you were saying that a lot of the yoga teachers don't do it correctly. That was one of the things you mentioned to me.
My forte is teaching yoga teachers how to teach better. Because what it is that I learned from, I was a senior teacher for 2 main swamis in those days. Swami Satchidananda, Swami Vishnudevananda. And the way we were taught classical yoga is Like for instance, what an asana, what a yoga stretch is, it's a long held stretch. You can be in it for 5 minutes, you can be in it for 10 minutes. You don't want to be in it. You don't want to do it because the monkey mind says, don't do it. But while you're in it and breathing, all of a sudden you're hitting a level inside yourself that you didn't hit before. So that's why a lot of the yogas now are fast yogas, but that defeats the purpose.
Right.
Yeah.
So they're more, it's almost like a stretching class versus the
Right.
idea of expanding your mind. So the whole mind body.
But they don't even know why they do yoga. I mean, there's a higher meaning for everything we do in yoga. So the reason they say headstands, shoulder stands, or the king and queen of the postures, the reason we do that is to see the world upside down, to see the world as someone else would see it, to get that universal mantra, the aha, or the I could be wrong, once you see the other viewpoint. And that's what we do that. And there's a higher meaning for the forward postures, for the back bending postures, for everything we do.
Amazing.
I mean, you think they're up in the Himalayas just devising this physical technique?
Of course, as well. Everybody down here at this level is running around like ants, trying to scratch, go,
Right.
running transactions. I was talking about people talking about, we get so caught up in the money, and it's like, well, I did this for you, and I did this for you. Somebody we know this morning says, well, I want you to come to the event, and I want you to do this. And every time you come, you only did this, 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 and this. I go, hold on. I go, everything that I do, because you're telling me that, it's so, I go, if I put the price of my time on it, it would far, far be greater. So I said, I'm not looking for money. It's just I'm here to support, right?
Right.
So everybody gets something to happen again with somebody over something you do. So I kind of look at that where it's like, hey, we lose sight of the relationship, and I think in the yoga world,
this world right now, nowadays, everybody lost sight of relationship.
It's all,
I mean,
it's all
everybody's
this
on the cell phone.
Yeah.
The first two steps of Raja Yoga it's called Yama Niyama, which is thinking good thoughts, doing good actions. And what that is karma. What you put out in the world in your thoughts, what you put out in the world in your actions, that's what comes back to you. And
That's right.
That's what you're talking about. I mean, doing things expecting nothing in return, because that's when really things happen.
That's right. That's right. And I've always lived that because, it's like Brian Tracy talks about this law of indirect effort. Like, I can't, okay, well, why didn't you do this for me? No, but you didn't. But then all of a sudden he did something for me, but that's that reciprocal relationship. And people forget that, right? I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, like I like money sometimes. Sometimes you got to release it. Like you can't hold on to it. All of a sudden you release it. All of a sudden something better happens because you're holding on to something.
And that's why a lot of spiritual reasons do 10% of tithing. They give 10% to a charity.
Yeah, which makes sense because I really believe, and living here in Miami, it's an ungrounded place for the most. I mean, there's grounded spots, but then and again, I'm still going through I just went through my body transformation. I got to still work on the mind transformation. There's still a lot of work to get on there, but at least I'm aware.
Right.
Now, which is a big thing. And so let's talk a little bit about like the events that are coming up with New Life. When you can explain to people kind of the New Life vision. I know we're adding biohacking. We worked on that, but really give the vision of New Life so people understand it.
What it is that New Life Expo is, we open up people's minds to possibilities on all levels. It could be on holistic health, alternative medicine. It could be on metaphysical. It could be on spiritual. It could be on UFOs. It could be anything to open up people's minds to have them reach their maximum potential. The only way you can reach your maximum potential is if you open up your mind.
True.
Yeah.
Hey, this is Eric Stoller for the Eric Stoller Show, the Man on a Mission here with Mark Becker. We'll be right back. Hey, this is Eric Stoller. So after our technical interlude over here, we had to change the mic for whatever reason, I won't ask. So Mark and I were talking about the New Life Expo, and the difference between the New Life is you got to open your mind.
You have to open your mind to possibilities. You want to reach your maximum potential on every level, not only just health, on every level.
Yes, yes. Yeah, and it's amazing because like you said, when you go to your event, there are people talking about UFOs. You're talking to the dead. You got people doing healing. And then when you meet everybody, most of them are pretty like, they're normal people. Like you talk to Donna McGrath, and she was a medical technology salesperson, and now she's healing people. And like, every time I talk to her, she goes, I got to stop doing this. Like, we got to get you in front of a room, Donna. But it's amazing the talent that these people have, that they're like almost in a sense like you would only find them at your expo.
Well, you know what it is that I remember having Dr. Oz in one room and having James Van Prague, who wrote Talking to Heaven, in the next room.
Amazing.
And because it's all the same people, meaning that at the very beginning, all the holistic doctors that were at my show, a lot of them ended up in jail because it was against the law to do a lot of the things.
Yeah.
Because they didn't understand. And I try to explain to any of the doctors nowadays that say, sometimes they feel that the expo is too airy-fairy or so. I said, you don't get it. In the old days, you were people what you do now was airy-fairy then.
Right.
And it takes them almost 30 years for people to get something like that. Like everything now is energy.
Right.
And doctors don't realize it, but they should. And I remember when we were teaching polarity, we were teaching Reiki, all these esoteric hands-on. Well, there's a woman, she's a nurse, her name is Dolores Krieger. She's been teaching in hospitals for at least 40 years, and they call it therapeutic touch in hospitals. So it's like, it's all energy. I remember at the beginning when they didn't want to do acupuncture, unless you're a medical doctor. They've been using acupuncture for thousands of years in China. It's all energy. So energy is number one.
And that's so true, because you think about it. I believe people, the energy's bad in the room, it's good in the room, right? And you feel, I know also sometimes like how I am, I'm like, all right, I'm off, but I know when I'm on, right?
And
that
people
energy.
know this in their mind. Like if you walk around like this, what a up person. What does that mean?
Right.
Or, oh man, that guy's really a downer. What does that mean?
Right.
It's their energy going up or their energy going down.
And it's the same thing with money, right? It's like who is it? New York, I saw her speak, and she's like, money is energy, and it's true, because
Green energy.
What is it? It's expression, right? They go to people spend the money to go to the show to meet other people, but they need us to what?
Right.
To organize the show, because they're not show organizers. So it's this whole ecosystem. And it is funny though, if you really think. I was thinking about the medical shows, the New Life. It's like we're still in the world of, with all the technology, if it's still about this. It's across a table, a person connecting with another, whether it's a fancy medical show at the Four Seasons or it's at an expo, it doesn't matter. People want to connect.
100%. And now lately, who's become the stars of the expo are the people that come to the expo.
That's right.
People meet each other. It's like a happening already. People can't wait for the expo to come because this is where they meet.
That's right.
I always say, go to a bar and pick up a drunk and go to an expo and meet a god or goddess.
That's right. That's right. Well, what's Les Brown saying? It's a treat when great people meet. One of his little isms,
I like that.
That's kind of cool. Because the truth is like, it's interesting. We did a business expo, and we had the red light, and we had all the different technologies, and I think Kara was doing iridology, and people came for the seminars. They were engaged. And then there was all these other people walking around the expo trying to, make deals or meet people. And they were all sitting along this bar over at Gulfstream. And there's just, they're just sitting there. And I'm like, you guys want to try? And they're like, the helmet's there. And they're like, no. I'm like trying to, no real interest. Now, you go to one of our events or something similar, people are at least engaged because they're curious. They want to know what's next.
A lot of people that come to an expo at least know that they don't know.
Yes.
That's the first step. You got to know that you don't know.
You don't know, right, exactly. And I think a lot of people, here's what I have found recently, because, I've been on this health journey. So when I talk to people, like my dad, he wanted to take the trizipatide, bugged me like crazy. I got it to him. He took one shot, it didn't work. I go, how old are you? You're 85 years old. You think one shot's going to change it? So, and then he's, I'm not doing it. But again, he, instead of like saying, hey, I say to people, make the commitment and just try it. It's like getting in the hyperbaric chamber. Some people are just afraid to get in. I said, I tell you what, first thing, just get in it before we even turn it on.
Right.
So you feel comfortable. Like I got claustrophobic for a minute. And I said, hold on, I can get out automatically. I got enough space. Let me take a deep breath because like that is a
Right.
natural behavior. So part of it is people they get this nervousness because it's the unknown for them.
And you know what happens to is any negative emotion that happens in the body. It could be jealousy, it could be anger, or it could be uh, fear.
Fear.
What happens is your breath becomes very uneven,
Yes.
always. And so your mother would say, or your teacher would say, take a deep breath. Or they would say, count to 10, without even realizing why they're saying it. But what happens is they bring your breath back to the way it should be, and all of a sudden that emotion dissipates.
Yeah. And it's so true. And let's talk a little about breath work because you've done a lot of breath work.
Yeah, I mean, I taught breathing. Actually, I taught breathing at Hunter College.
Oh, no kidding.
Wait for half a credit.
Because I was talking to this friend of mine. He's a retired surgeon, and he goes, I don't believe in the hyperbaric chamber, but I believe in breath work, in breathing, because most people aren't breathing deep enough.
Well, besides that, we breathe for two reasons. One is to get a lot of oxygen in the body, and one is to get a lot of carbon monoxide and dioxide out of the body. So, I mean, it's common sense. Like, why do we breathe? So you want to do exercises to get more of that oxygen in and get more of the carbon dioxide out.
Absolutely. Yep. Pretty simple. So, hey, let's talk a little about the expo. What's we've got November coming up
Well, the
in
next
New York.
one's in New York City. It's November 15th and 16th.
15th and 16th.
And so we have about 65 exhibitors, and we have 4 or 5 lectures every hour for the 2 days.
4 to 5 lectures,
yeah.
and there's a couple of magazines that you're relaunching, aren't you? The New
And
Life
New Life
Expo
Yeah,
magazine.
I'm relaunching New Life magazine. I had to stop it because of the pandemic.
The pandemic, yes, kind of stopped everything. You know what's cool about New York? Because growing up there, I always knew about the expo because of all the boxes in the city.
Right.
And that was the key that nobody realized.
I know.
Like cities, there was more. You couldn't do it in Miami like that. In certain cities, it wouldn't work.
And then also, meaning that we had boxes all over the city
Everywhere.
with the magazine. But of course, eventually, years and years later, the city made us stop.
Stop doing it.
And they made their own boxes, which I'm in those, but there's not as many. I had 1,000 boxes.
I used to remember I'd pick up your stuff in Learning Expo, Learning Annex, and I remember because years ago when we brought like Brian Tracy to the Javits, I kind of partnered with them,
Mm-hmm.
and that's when we were selling $100 tickets, and we
Right.
had 2,000 people show. We had a lineup. We had Dennis Waitley, Og Mandino, Brian Tracy, and Herb Cohen.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy who was my mentor was here in Miami. I had breakfast with him a couple of days ago. He was
Oh,
visiting.
I love that circle.
Yeah,
I
and then
love when things go back around.
and I met him. It was interesting. He came into a company I was working for in California in real estate, and he was selling Brian Tracy. You know, if you remember Roger Dawson, the negotiating guy with the English accent.
Right.
So
this is out of my
this is
realm.
out of your. But okay, look at me. I come from New York. Out of college, I got a job with a suit and tie at a commercial real estate firm. This guy comes in with selling. I never saw this before.
Right.
A guy comes in and gives a presentation selling us on going to a seminar. Now, after doing thousands of these, that was a botched meeting because the guys who were the senior guys in there said,
Right.
hey, we were the junior guys. I mean, this other guy, his name was Omar Sanchez, still remember. So they go, hey, we'll get back to you. We're going to get a group. Never happened.
Mm-hmm.
I was doing some little MLM on the side,
Uh-huh.
and me and the guy Tom
What was the
Gundrum.
MLM? Do you remember?
It was Fund America.
Okay.
You gave benefit points and you got money. So I'm doing this. I'm working as an intern for a major commercial real estate firm. This guy shows up in my life, talking about Brian Tracy. I got hooked on the tapes. 3 months later, him and I became fast friends. And he signed up in Fund America, and he goes, do you want to come to San Francisco and promote a seminar? And at that point, I was a little lost in the real estate. And I said, okay. And I thought it was going to be a one-time thing. And I started, and that's how it all started.
I love it.
So when I saw him, he goes, how did we meet? I go, are you kidding me? Like, of course, I would remember that story, you know? So that's how I got started in the motivational seminar.
You're in California. So when we're talking about the LSD testing in Berkeley, and that people handle situations better with yoga. So in 1981, I stopped eating meat and chicken. So I haven't had meat or chicken, I guess it's almost 60 years, right? So 55 years.
Wow.
I stopped smoking cigarettes. So it became a natural process because you really, when you use more of your mind, you realize what's healthy for you and what you could and shouldn't do.
Absolutely. And you know, I found when I did the shots this last year and I started thinking about my diet and you know, and alcohol and I eliminated all of that
Yeah.
and my diet's much cleaner. And even if I eat bad, you know, it's funny, certain days I'm like I go to the store and I'm like I just bought a whole bunch of sugar. My mind is like I'm like, "Wait, well, hold on." And then I just start eating clean, and my wife doesn't. She's like she eats whatever, so I'm actually cooked for her instead of eating like oh wow, it's eggs and a sweet potato,
All
and
right.
because she'll eat cereal and sugar. She's a sugar. She takes a big Flanagan's cups and goes. I go, what's in that? She fills it with. He goes diabetes. You know that's.
You know what's interesting? So I taught. I was the first Anglo to teach in a minority college, and the minority college was called Boriqua College.
Paniqua?
Boriqua. It's still in Manhattan and uptown. And I had all these gangbangers as students, and I was teaching. I delivered my daughter. I was teaching natural childbirth. I was teaching herbology and homeopathy. I had these people. I had these gangbangers. They would go home, and when they went shopping with their wives, they would make the wives look at all the labels. I had them taking enemas and colonics, and at the end of the term, they all chipped in and bought me a sweater. I thought it was the
That's
coolest thing
cool.
because nobody ever did that before.
Wow.
But they got it.
Right.
You know, they got it. They started. I mean, after I'm teaching.
So you made all the gangs in New York healthy,
Yeah.
right?
Everybody wants to be healthy.
That's right. And Les Brown said this when I was trying to get him to come to New York and speak, and he wanted like a ridiculous amount of
Right.
money. His tagline was, "Healthy people have 1,000 goals, and unhealthy people have one goal, and that's to be healthy."
Right.
And that speaks to me. Like, and I really thought about it, Mark. All the stuff I'm doing and keep going with that body, 100 pounds, still going. And then
And you have to feel like $1 million.
I feel so
You have to.
amazing. It's just I'm like actually I wake up and I'm like I'm missing like I'm like feel like I'm too small. But you know what? Everything is like wow, I can't believe this.
It's great.
So it's a really good feeling.
And I'll tell you, you know, I live on the beach, and people are really obese.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, it is so unhealthy. I mean, I couldn't even imagine carrying another 100 or 200 pounds on me. I mean, everything would hurt. Plus, I'd be sluggish. Plus, well, you can tell me, how would I feel?
You'd feel like shit. And let me tell you something. You don't know how bad you feel until you don't feel that way
Exactly.
anymore. And that's
Right.
the thing. Most people walk around and they're feeling like garbage and they're tired and they're eating the wrong stuff. And I can tell you, like you, I eat something bad. I'm like, oh my God, my stomach, I feel terrible.
Right.
I don't even eat as much anymore,
Right.
which is not good because now I'm like, I've got protein powders. I'm trying to pack on a couple of
But you're right,
weights
though. People don't know they really feel good until they really feel good.
until they feel good. And you know
Yeah.
what the funniest thing is? My whole life, I've never been. There was times I lost weight. I was very young in college. I was, you know, I lost a whole bunch, like 4 or 5 times. My father always said to me, he goes, people say, when is he going to lose the weight? He goes, Eric, as soon as his mind switches, he'll do it.
I love it.
And that's so and even I said to him the other day, I said, people tell me I'm too skinny. He goes, don't listen to anybody. You're too. I got a little bit of the face here thing, but I'm like, geez, I'm 172 pounds. I mean, I can't remember the last time. I think I was
Right.
like 21 years old. So I'll take it, you know. And then people ask, how'd you do it? I go, better living through chemistry. So I said a little bit of. I said to guys like this. Look, you know what? There's a guys at the age where they're like, look, you're super fit. You've been that way your whole life. You're an anomaly for like a lot of people, right? Most people are like gone down the path that I have, right? I had a heart attack at 46,
Right.
from doing bad stuff, right? And there was a complete blocked artery. So here I'm at 58. My cardiologist that I saw yesterday again, he's so happy because now I'm down to like 2 medications.
Great.
I'm like,
Oh, I love it. That's
see what I mean? So I
what
like
do they do in hospitals?
give you
First of all,
medications.
not only medication, but I mean, you have a heart attack, they'll give you meat right away. Not good. Or Jello. I mean, I can't believe the food. And I mean, I was just in the hospital for him. I mean, I went. Of course, I ate nothing. I said, "What are you nuts?"
Right.
I said, "The nutritionist there knew nothing about nutrition.
It's
No,
unbelievable.
they call dietitians. They don't know
Dietitian. You would die from the food that they
Exactly.
serve you. It's crazy. It's so amazing. Well, you know, I just want to say this because as I'm like out there watching and just observing, and then when I kind of engage people about, I don't even say weight, or because now that I look like this, people
Right.
are like here, and I never would ever would say to somebody you're fat or you're this, because my
Right.
belief about all of it is it's where you are in your own like station in life, right?
Right.
I wasn't ready to get out of my own whatever it was. I even said I had all like you know I had all the offices down
Right.
there and all the businesses. It wasn't any of that. I wasn't happy with me. So I look at people and they say, "No, I'm good. I'm going to try intermittent fasting." I go, "Why are you taking the long road? Live your best life like right now." And I had this kid. He wanted to do some of the compounding stuff, and he gets to one. Oh, I don't want to do this, but okay. I don't want to do this. Finally, you know what he did? He listened to me and did everything. He sent me a text yesterday. Thank you so much. It's working.
Right.
So I will leave you with this. Brian Tracy told me, you have a friggin' recipe. So use a recipe that works instead of people use their half cocked, I'm going to do this. I love watching people at the gym with their rest.
Right.
They're moving. This is the best. You get these women, they take the weights from one side of the gym, they bring it to the other, they bring 3 sets of weights, and then they work on another machine, and then they you can't use what's there in the right way. So I guess I want to end and say to you like this. What do you think is it? What is it that keeps people to grab that, and then like you did, right? Early in your life, you got rid of all that.
Right.
What is that?
You have to open up your mind. You have to open up your mind. I mean, life works perfect if you get out of your own way. And that's what it is. I mean, people just don't get out of their own way. And you need a good support system.
Yes, support system is key.
Important. To support yourself with people, surround yourself with people that are into what you would like to be into.
Yes. Yes, I think that's one of the biggest things. What is that? That the 5 people around you,
Mm-hmm.
and if you're like, I look at it. If I'm over here trying to get into all the holistic,
Right.
and my friends are over here, and they're like, "What are you doing over there? We're gonna be at the
Right.
bar, and we're gonna be partying, and what do you got to sometimes drop your friends, right?
Eventually that happens.
Yeah, yeah. People go their own way. I mean, I was around a lot of chaotic people. I'm like, I don't want chaos. I've been around chaos. I live in chaos.
Right.
So I've learned how to be calm in chaos. So hey, before we and I really appreciate you doing this, and Mark's launching his own podcast. The original biohacker, which is really true. Now with biohacking and wellness, people,
Yeah. Well, come to the expo. I mean,
yes,
of course, it's newlifeexpo.com. And you just meet really interesting people that, again, are not only just into holistic health and alternative medicine, but metaphysics, into energy, into raising people's energy,
yes.
into making people's lives happier, into making people's lives better, making people's lives healthier.
And I think it's something that is needed. We're seeing more and more, as you see right now. Everybody has an idea. I'm a biohacking conference,
Right.
but you know what I think?
It's a new word,
It's just a word, and we got to thank Dave Asprey because he
Yeah.
coined it, but he didn't trademark it. He's probably pissed, but he's made plenty of money. But my point is like everybody's popping up with a biohacker conference now,
Right.
and at the end of the day, those things are all going to fade away, and then who's going to be left? New Life Expo is going to be left.
And the people. I mean, basically,
That's right.
what you put into your mind and body is how your mind and body is going to react or respond.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
for sure. Well, I want to thank Mark Becker being on the Eric Stoller Show, the Man on a Mission podcast. Thank you for doing this.
I want to thank Eric Stoller for being a good example.
Thank you. And I will continue to do so and to be that not only a man on a mission, but an example of what you can do. Listen, I battled weight, addiction, financial up and downs, trying to run a business, having a heart attack. Oh, I crashed my car into a telephone and got a DUI. I'm not here to like hide any of this. I'm telling you, I moved to the other side of that. So if you're dealing with all that crap in your life, stop and go get around. Go to the expo. Go, DM me. Go to the ericstollershow.com. get something that makes your mind shift from what's causing you to be attracted to negativity and chaos, and move yourself to a calm place. You'll be amazed what'll happen to your life.
And,
If you,
yeah, and also if you go to somebody, be it yoga or be it whatever it is, always go to somebody that you're being referred to, because there's a lot of charlatans out there. There's a lot of people that really don't know what they're doing out there. And so that's really important.
That's right. And here in Miami, you probably wouldn't find any charlatans. I doubt it, right? There's
Well,
no
there's-
charlatans here.
They say there's two ways to find a teacher. And so one is find a teacher. Don't say find a teacher that says, I'll do it first. No, go to somebody who says, I've been there before.
I've been there
I've been there
before.
before. And the other one is find someone that has a cat philosophy, not a monkey philosophy. Meaning that what a mother monkey does, the baby has to hold on to the mother and they go from tree to tree. Where cat philosophy, cat brings a cub from place to place to place. That's important.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, here you have it. Great Mark Becker, founder of the New Life Expo, the longest running holistic expo in the United States. This is Eric Stoller for the Eric Stoller Show, Man on a Mission, with Mark Becker, founder of the New Life Expo. And we'll be back real soon with more engaging interviews and exciting talks. All right, we're going to go on a mission right now. We're practicing Man on a Mission. Here we go. I'm a man on a mission, a vision in mind. I'm a man on a mission, with a goal in mind. I'm gonna tell my story to the world. Tell my story to the world. I'm a man on a mission, with a mountain to climb. I'm a man on a mission, with a goal in mind. I'm gonna tell my story to the world. Tell my story to the world. Gonna make my dreams my reality. Gonna make my dreams a reality. Gonna make my dreams a reality. Life without limits is the goal in mind. All right, here we go. You ready? One, two, three. Gonna make my dreams a reality. Gonna make my dreams a reality. Gonna make my dreams a reality. Life without limits is the goal in mind. A reality. Gonna make my dreams a reality. Gonna make my dreams a reality. Life without limits is the goal in mind.